My name is Elizabeth R. Cummings. I'm 26 years old, I work in digital marketing, and until last Tuesday, I thought I had a pretty solid relationship. My boyfriend's name was Adrian Miller. We had been together for 2 years, lived separately but spent most weekends together. We had talked about moving in by summer, talked about furniture, shared expenses, even which side of the bed we would each take. He was charming, funny, spontaneous. The kind of man who could turn a quick grocery run into a ridiculous little adventure. For a long time, I thought that meant we were happy. But there had always been this small, nagging feeling I could not shake. Little inconsistencies. Stories that almost lined up, but not quite. Pauses before answers. Details that changed when he retold them. I kept telling myself I was being paranoid. I was not. Adrian had a best friend named Caleb. They had known each other since high school. One of those friendships that survive distance, drama, bad relationships, and years of becoming different people without fully admitting it. I had met Caleb a handful of times. He was nice enough, quiet, a little awkward around me, but I figured that was just his personality. About 3 months ago, Adrian started mentioning Caleb's mother more often. Her name was Carol, and according to Adrian, she had health issues. Something vague. Chronic fatigue, maybe autoimmune complications, maybe blood pressure. He never said it clearly enough for me to understand, but always seriously enough that I felt cruel asking questions. "I need to check on Caleb this weekend," he would say. "His mom is having a rough time." And I would nod, because that was what good partners did. They trusted. They gave space. They did not turn someone's family emergency into an interrogation. But over time, the visits became more frequent. Saturday afternoons, random weekday evenings, nights when Adrian would usually come over. He would text, "Heading to Caleb's. His mom's really struggling today. I'll be back late." And I would reply, "No problem. Let me know if you need anything." 2 weeks ago, on a Thursday evening, something finally felt wrong enough that I could not ignore it. Thursdays were our night. It was nothing fancy, just Thai food from the place near his apartment, and whatever show we were pretending not to binge. At 6, my phone buzzed. "Hey babe, Caleb just called. His mom had a bad episode today. I'm heading over there now. Probably won't be back until late. Love you." I stared at the message. Bad episode sounded too polished, too clinical, like a phrase rehearsed in front of a mirror. Still, I did not want to be that woman, the suspicious girlfriend who questioned compassion like it was a crime. Me. "Okay, take care of her. Text me when you're on your way home." He hearted the message. Then, nothing. I ordered the Thai food anyway, and ate it alone while scrolling through Netflix, pretending the silence in my apartment was normal. But the feeling sat in my chest like a stone. Around 7:30, I opened Adrian's contact and noticed his location sharing was still on. We had turned it on during a road trip to Big Sur after losing each other at a crowded rest stop, and had never turned it off. I tapped it. He was not at Caleb's house. He was across town at an address I did not recognize, somewhere in the Marina district. My heart started pounding so hard I could hear it. I tried to invent explanations. Maybe Caleb moved. Maybe Carol was at a clinic. Maybe they were at a hospital. Maybe I was becoming exactly the jealous girlfriend I never wanted to be. Then I checked Caleb's Instagram. He had posted a story an hour earlier. His golden retriever sprawled on a rug, captioned, "Cozy Thursday Night In." The background was his living room, the same one I had seen when we stopped by once. He was clearly home. So I grabbed my keys. 20 minutes later, I stood on Caleb's porch, stomach twisted so tight it hurt. His house was narrow and green, with a small garden out front and warm lights glowing inside. I knocked. Caleb opened the door in sweatpants and an oversized hoodie. "Elizabeth, what are you doing here?" Sorry to show up like this, I said, forcing my voice to stay even. Adrian said your mom was having a hard time. I just wanted to check if everything was okay. Caleb blinked. My mom? Yeah, he said she's been really sick. His confusion deepened. My mom's fine. She's in the kitchen making chamomile tea. The stone in my chest turned to ice. She's here right now? Yeah, she's staying with me while her bathroom gets renovated. Do you want to come in? I followed him inside. The house smelled like lavender and fresh bread. Carol stood in the kitchen in jeans and a floral blouse, looking perfectly healthy, cheeks rosy, smile bright. Oh, hello, she said. I didn't know we were having visitors. Hi, Carol, I said. You look really well. She laughed warmly. Thank you, dear. I feel pretty good these days. My hands felt clammy when I pulled out my phone. Would you mind taking a selfie with me? My mom always asks about Caleb's family. Of course. I put my arm around her shoulders and snapped the picture. Carol smiling. Kitchen visible. Timestamp clear. At 8:47 p.m., sitting in my car outside Caleb's house, I sent the photo to Adrian with no message. Then I opened his location again, screenshotted the marina address, and sent it to Vanessa's fiancé, Steven. Vanessa was Adrian's ex-girlfriend, the one he claimed was blocked everywhere, the one now engaged to another man. I wrote, "You don't know me, but I'm Adrian's girlfriend. This is where he is right now. You may want to check if Vanessa is home." 2 minutes later, my phone began exploding. What the hell is this? Why are you at Caleb's house? Why did you send me that picture? Call me right now. I declined the first call, then the second. Then I turned off my phone and drove home in silence. The next morning, I turned my phone back on because habit is stronger than heartbreak, at least in the beginning. It started vibrating before the screen had fully loaded. 43 messages, 12 missed calls. Most were from Adrian. A few were from numbers I did not recognize. One was from Steven. Adrian's earliest messages were pure anger. You had no right to go to Caleb's house like some stalker. You're acting insane. I was helping a friend and you made it weird and creepy. Then the tone shifted, just slightly, like he had realized anger was not working. Okay, I should have been more honest about where I was. But it's not what you think. Can we please talk face to face? I made a mistake, but it wasn't anything serious. Then came the messages from later in the night, the ones that looked like panic typed with shaking hands. I'm so sorry. I really messed up. I was confused about my feelings. Vanessa means nothing to me. Please don't throw away 2 years over this. I sat on the edge of my bed reading them while morning light slipped through the blinds. 2 years. He used those words like they belonged only to him. Like I was the one throwing something away, not the one discovering it had been cracked for months. Then I opened Steven's message. Hi, this is Steven. Thank you for telling me. I confronted Vanessa last night when I got your message. She denied it at first, then admitted everything. She and Adrian have been seeing each other for 3 months. They met at her place whenever I was working late or traveling. I'm leaving her, moving my things out this weekend. I'm sorry you're going through this too. You deserve better. I read it once. Then again. 3 months. 3 months of Caleb's mother is sick. 3 months of bad episodes and late nights. 3 months of canceled dinners, weekend disappearances, and Adrian coming back smelling faintly like perfume that was not mine. 3 months where I had worried I was paranoid, while he quietly made a liar out of my trust. I got ready for work in a daze. Shower, coffee, clothes, keys. I moved through the morning like my body remembered what to do, even though my mind had stayed behind with Steven's message. My coworkers noticed I was off, but no one pushed. I answered emails, sat through meetings, nodded at campaign metrics, and kept seeing Carol's smiling face in that selfie every time my screen went dark. By Monday, I thought the worst had shifted into something survivable. Painful, yes, but survivable. I blocked Adrian's number, deleted him from my social media, and told my closest friends what had happened. My friend Ryan was stunned. "Adrian?" he said over coffee. "Seriously? He always seemed obsessed with you." "Apparently not enough to tell the truth." Ryan shook his head. "People are terrifying." "People are people," I said. "That's worse." Tuesday morning, I went to work feeling almost stable. Not healed, just upright. Around noon, my coworker Jade walked up to my desk with the uncomfortable expression people wear when they have accidentally become involved in someone else's disaster. "Hey," she said softly. "There's someone outside asking for you." My stomach knew before I did. "Who?" She hesitated. "A guy. He's been out there for about 20 minutes. Security asked if he was okay, but he said he just needed to talk to you." "What does he look like?" "Tall, brown hair, navy jacket. Looks like he's been crying." I closed my laptop slowly. Jade touched my shoulder. "Do you want me to call security?" "No," I said. "I'll handle it." Through the glass doors at the front entrance, I saw him. Adrian was sitting on the concrete bench outside the building, elbows on his knees, phone gripped in both hands like he was waiting for the universe to send him away back. His hair was messy, his eyes red and swollen. He was wearing the navy jacket I had bought him for Christmas. When I stepped outside, he looked up immediately. "Elizabeth," he said, voice breaking. "Please." "What are you doing here? You blocked me everywhere. You won't answer. I didn't know what else to do." "That usually means, leave me alone." He stood, wiping his face with his sleeve. The gesture was so unlike him, so stripped of charm, that for half a second I saw the man I had loved underneath the man who betrayed me. Then I remembered Steven's message. "I need to explain," he said. "Explain what? That you spent 3 months sneaking around with your ex while telling me your best friend's mother was sick?" He flinched. "It wasn't like that." "Then what was it like?" He looked down. Cars passed behind him. A security guard watched from inside. "Vanessa reached out a few months ago," he said. "She said she wanted closure, to apologize for how things ended. I thought it was harmless, just coffee, talking about old times." "And then?" His voice dropped. "And then it became more." I nodded slowly, because some part of me had already known. "So you lied." "I was going to tell you. You had 3 months. I know I messed up. I was confused. I still had feelings I thought were gone, and I didn't know how to stop it without hurting everyone." I almost laughed, not because it was funny, because the arrogance of that sentence was unbelievable. "You didn't want to hurt everyone, so you lied to everyone." His eyes filled. "I love you. I made a horrible mistake, but I love you. You're the one I want to be with. You don't cheat on people you love." "People make mistakes. People make choices," I said. "You made the same one for 3 months." He stepped closer and reached for my hand. I pulled back. That tiny movement broke something in his face. "I'll do anything," he said quickly. "Therapy, couples counseling, full access to my phone, location always on, whatever you need. I need you to leave." "Elizabeth, please." "No, you do not get to turn betrayal into a negotiation." His shoulders sagged. I can't lose you. You already did. He stayed on the bench for nearly an hour after I went back inside. I watched from the window near my desk as coworkers passed by and glanced out. Jade asked if I was okay. I said yes, because I was not sure how to explain that sometimes being okay looks exactly like refusing to go back outside. Eventually, Adrian stood, looked at the building one last time, and walked away, with his phone still in his hand. A week passed. The truth spread faster than I expected. Stephen ended his engagement with Vanessa. He posted nothing dramatic, only a short statement about betrayal and moving forward. But people figured out enough. Vanessa deactivated her Instagram. Adrian vanished from group chats. Caleb reached out and apologized over and over for not knowing Adrian had been using his family as a cover story. "It's not your fault," I told him. "I know," he said, "but it still feels disgusting." I understood that. Then Stephen messaged again. We ended up talking a few times. Not romantically, not in some dramatic revenge twist, just two people standing in the ruins of the same lie, comparing where the walls had cracked first. "You think you know someone," he said during one call. "You build a life around them. Then one day you realize you were living with a stranger." I looked at the box of Adrian's things by my door. His hoodie, a toothbrush, 2 books, a charger. "Yeah," I said. "I know the feeling." After that, life became quieter in a way that felt both peaceful and cruel. I deleted old photos from my phone, one folder at a time. Beach trips, coffee dates, lazy Sunday mornings, Adrian asleep on my couch with one hand tucked under his face. Us laughing in a grocery aisle because he had convinced me to buy a pineapple we had no plan for. The good memories did not disappear just because the truth arrived. That was the hardest part. Betrayal does not erase love. It stains it. I packed the things he had left at my apartment into a cardboard box. His toothbrush, 2 paperbacks, a gray hoodie, a phone charger, a half-used bottle of cologne I could not bring myself to throw away at first, because scent has a cruel kind of memory. I dropped the box at his apartment building lobby without texting him. The doorman recognized me, looked at the box, and quietly said he would make sure Adrian got it. I thanked him and walked away before my resolve had time to soften. People asked if I regretted sending the screenshot to Stephen. Some said I should have confronted Adrian privately first. Some said exposing Vanessa like that was messy. But what exactly was I supposed to protect? Their secrets? Their comfort? Adrian and Vanessa had built an entire structure of lies that required innocent people to keep living inside it. I did not create the damage. I only opened a window and let the truth breathe. I started going to the gym more, partly because my body needed somewhere to put the anger. I spent more time with friends, accepted invitations I would have once declined because Adrian and I had plans. I bought a cheap guitar online and started learning badly from videos, my fingertips sore and clumsy against the strings. There was something comforting about being terrible at something new. No history, no betrayal, just practice and sound. 3 weeks later, I ran into Caleb at a coffee shop in the Castro. He was with Carol, the woman from the infamous selfie. She was wearing a soft blue sweater, holding a reusable shopping bag, looking as healthy and cheerful as ever. She did not recognize me at first. When Caleb reminded her, she laughed. "Oh, you're the one who wanted the picture," she said. "How's your mother doing?" I smiled because the absurdity of it almost made the whole thing funny. "She's great. Thanks for asking." Carol went to order tea, and Caleb pulled me aside. His face carried the awkward guilt of someone who had not done anything wrong but still felt close to the blast. "I'm really sorry," he said, "about all of it. Adrian used my name, my mom, my house. I had no idea." I know. He called me after everything came out, Caleb said. He was a mess. Asked if I thought you would ever talk to him again. What did you say? I told him he should focus less on getting you back and more on figuring out why he lied so easily. That is good advice. Caleb looked toward his mother, who was happily stirring honey into her tea, completely unaware that her fictional illness had held together 3 months of betrayal. For what it's worth, I think you handled it better than most people would have. A lot of people would have exploded. I wanted to, I admitted. But you didn't. No, I said. I just made sure everyone who deserved the truth got it. When I left the coffee shop, I glanced back through the window. Carol sat in the corner, smiling down at something on her phone. Perfectly healthy, perfectly fine. Living her life without knowing she had been the centerpiece of a lie. And that image stayed with me, not because it hurt, but because it reminded me how unnecessary all of this had been. If Adrian had told the truth from the start, there would have been pain, yes, but not this kind, not this rot under everything. Stephen and I stayed in occasional contact for a while. Nothing dramatic, nothing romantic, just check-ins from two people who understood the same wound from opposite sides. He moved into a new apartment downtown. I sent him a guitar meme when he mentioned he used to play bass in college. He sent me a photo of the empty space where Vanessa's things used to be, and wrote, "Looks sad now, but at least it's honest." I understood that too. As for Adrian, he tried reaching me twice more. One email, one handwritten letter slipped under my apartment door before I told the building manager not to let him in again. The email was long, full of therapy words he had probably learned in a rush. Accountability, attachment, confusion, self-sabotage. The letter was shorter and somehow worse. Elizabeth, I know I destroyed us. I keep replaying the moment I saw that photo of you with Carol. I knew it was over before you even said it. I hate myself for making you question your instincts. You were right. You were always right. I am sorry. I folded the letter and put it in the same box where I had placed the printed screenshot of his location and Stephen's first message. Not because I wanted to keep evidence forever. Because someday, if loneliness tried to make the past look softer than it was, I wanted the truth close enough to touch. Months have passed now. Some days are still harder than others. Sometimes I hear a song we used to play in the car and feel the ache before I remember the reason. Sometimes I miss the version of him I thought was real. But missing someone is not the same as wanting them back. I am rebuilding slowly. Gym mornings, guitar practice at night, Thai food with friends instead of silence. Walks through neighborhoods I used to only pass through on my way to Adrian's place. I am learning that a life after betrayal does not arrive all at once. It returns in small pieces. A laugh that does not feel forced. A full night of sleep. A weekend plan made only for myself. A quiet room that no longer feels like evidence of being alone. People love dramatic endings. They want the cheater ruined, the betrayed person glowing, the truth wrapped neatly with a lesson. Real life is messier. Adrian lost me. Vanessa lost Stephen. Stephen lost the future he thought he was walking toward. Caleb lost trust in a friend. Even Carol, without knowing it, lost the innocent use of her own name in my memory. But I gained something too. I gained proof that my instincts were not paranoia. I gained the courage to act when the story stopped making sense. I gained the clarity to understand that love without honesty is just performance with softer lighting. I still think about the good times sometimes, the trips, the jokes, the way Adrian could make boring errands feel like scenes from a movie. Then I remember the Thursday night Thai food going cold on my table. I remember Caleb's confused face at the door. I remember Carol smiling into my camera, healthy and bright, while Adrian sat across town, inside another lie. And I remember that I deserve someone who does not need fake emergencies to explain where he has been. Someone who does not make me feel guilty for noticing the truth. Someone who can love me plainly, honestly, in daylight. I do not know when I will find that person, but I am willing to wait. Because being alone with the truth is better than being loved inside a lie.